I'm Sarah Waskus with the Aquatics Department here at the JCC. The first video that we did was conscious choking victim. Now we're going to show you, or I'm going to show you what you have to do for an unconscious choking victim, okay? So to kind of recap the conscious choking, remember it's 5 back blows and 5 upward thrusts, okay? If they are coughing, you want to let them cough, keep encouraging them to cough. Once they stop coughing, that's when you want to step in and give them those 5 back blows and those 5 upward thrusts, okay? At that point in time, if they cannot get it up and you cannot get it up with those upward thrusts or back blows, then they will eventually go unconscious, okay? So once they go unconscious, you're going to try and help them. That's the reason why that your arm is across their chest to help them to the ground. So once you get them to the ground, you already know that your victim is choking, okay? You already know that your victim cannot breathe and doesn't have a pulse, okay? So the first thing you want to do is start with chest compressions, okay? You want to do 30 chest compressions. You're going to find on their chest the middle of their breastbone, which is right underneath their pecs, okay? And you're going to place the palm of your hand onto the victim's chest, right in the middle of the breastbone, okay? Then you're going to take your other hand and you're going to wrap it over the top of it, okay? So your hands are placed on top of each other. The palm of your hand is the only thing touching the chest, okay? Once you make contact with the chest, you don't want to bring your hands up and bounce on the chest. So you want to give them 30 good compressions, okay? So when you're doing your compressions, again, you're going to wrap your hands. You're going to lock your elbows to make sure they're nice and straight. Your shoulder and your wrists are going to be in a nice straight line, okay? And you're going to push down on their chest 30 times. For an adult, you're going to push down at least 2 inches to 2.5 inches, okay? So it's going to look like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, and 30, okay? Once you get your 30 compressions done, then you are going to go and you're going to look in their mouth to see if you see anything, okay? If you can see something and you want to get it out, or you need to get it out, for an adult, you're going to use your index finger, and for an infant, you're going to use your pinky, okay? For children, depending on their size, you are going to have to decide whether to use your index finger or your pinky, okay? So what you would do is if you see something and you think you can get it, you're going to place one hand on the victim's forehead, tilt their head back. You're going to take your other hand and your index finger and you're going to go on the opposite side of where you're at, slide down their cheek, across the back of their throat, and up the other side, or the cheek that's closest to you, okay? So you're kind of doing a scraping motion or a J motion, okay? Once you get something out, okay, then you're going to take your CPR mask and you're going to place that on their face, okay? And then you're going to give them 2 breaths, okay? So you're going to push down, you're going to seal your mask, you're going to tilt their head back to open the airway, and give them 2 very good breaths where you can see the chest rise, okay? When you give them that first breath, you're going to look out the corner of your eye, watch their chest rise, and then deflate, and then that's when you want to give the second breath. Watch it rise and deflate, okay? Make sure the chest fully rises and deflates before you give that second breath, okay? Okay? At that time, you can leave the mask on. You'll place your hands and give another 30 compressions, okay? You want to keep doing this until you see signs of life or until they throw something up or spit something up, okay? Then we will go into our infants. Hello again. So to get back to unconscious, I'm going to go over child and infant this time, okay? So for a child, it's the exact same thing as for an adult, okay? So once the child goes unconscious, you would lay them on a hard, flat surface. You would lay them on their back, okay? You would start with your 30 compressions. You would do your finger sweep, whether it's your index finger or your pinky finger, depending on how big their mouth or their throat is, you would do your finger sweep, and then you would give them 2 breaths, okay? Again, you would continue with that cycle until you see signs of life, which them waking up, them puking, throwing up, coughing, anything like that, or when EMS arrives, okay? So you would just continue that. Again, it's the exact same thing for an adult and a child, okay? You'd find the middle of their breastbone, you would place the palm down on their breastbone, and then you place the other hand on top, okay? Everything is exactly the same for a child, okay? Now for an infant, it's a little bit different, okay? So again, if the infant goes unconscious when they're choking on something, you already know that they're unconscious, they're choking and they can't breathe. So what you would do for an infant, it's a little bit different. You would use your fingers to give their compressions instead of your whole hand, okay? So again, you're gonna use 2 hands. One hand's gonna go on their forehead to stabilize them and to keep the airway open, okay? With your index finger, you are gonna find the middle of their nipple line, okay? Once you find the middle of it with your index finger, you're gonna place the next 2 fingers down and lift up your index finger, okay? That's exactly where you need to push down on their chest, okay? The other 2 fingers or the 3 fingers can lift up, or you can wrap them on top of one another, okay? On an infant, you're going to compress their chest about 1.5 inches, okay? For a child, you would compress their chest at 2 inches, okay? So it's 1.5 for an infant, 2 inches for a child, and 2 to 2.5 for an adult, okay? That's how far you want to compress their chest, okay? Once you find your hand placement, again, it's 30 compressions. So the compressions would look like this for an infant. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 27, 28, 29, and 30, okay? So once you do your 30 compressions, again, you would look in the victim's mouth or the infant's mouth. If you see something and you think you can get it, use your pinky, start on the opposite side of their cheek, slide down their cheek across the back of their throat, and come up on the other side, okay? So it's just like a little sweep or a little J with your finger, okay? Once you do that, you would take your mask, okay? You would use your adult mask. You can use your adult mask on an infant. The only thing you would do, instead of placing the nose piece on the nose like you would do for an adult or child, would be turning the mask upside down so the nose piece is at their chin, okay? Where you want to put this nose piece, so below their lip and above their chin, there's that little indentation, and that's where you want to place this first and foremost, okay? So you would find that little indentation, you would place the mask on the face, and then you would go up from there and place it. So the mask is going to cover the entire infant's face, okay, which is absolutely fine. They will still get the air that they need, okay? You would make a seal. You would take one of your hands, you would put it close to the stem of the mask. You would take the other hand and you would place it over the top. So you're basically creating either a diamond shaped, okay? So you're placing your index finger and your thumbs on top of each other, closest to the stem of the mask, okay? Then you're gonna push down, okay? You can tilt an infant's head back just a little. Most likely they only need to be in a neutral plane, but if the air doesn't go in, you can tip them back a little bit, okay? And then you would give them 2 puffs, okay? So a puff is just enough for their chest to rise and deflate, okay? If you would give them a full breath of air like we would do for an adult and or a child, you could damage their lungs. You could explode their lungs, okay? So an infant does not need as much air as you would give an adult and a child. So you just want to give them little puffs, okay? Again, when you're giving the puffs, look out the corner of your eye, make sure the chest rises and falls. Once that chest falls, then you would give the second breath, okay? Okay, you would give your 2 breaths, okay? Once the 2 breaths go in, put the mask down, hold the head, and then you would give the 30 compressions again, okay? Again, when you would stop is if you see signs of life, they start coughing, throwing up, EMS arrives, those or when you want to stop, okay? If you have any questions on CPR, first aid, AED, or even lifeguarding, please contact the aquatics office or give myself a call, and we will answer any questions or get you signed up for a class. Hope everyone's having a good day.